Hello Internet, I'm Dan.
I'm Chaz, and this is the Wine is Serious Business Show, episode 20.
Woo!
It's a happy show, because it's our Christmas show, and we're drinking a beautiful wine. It's called Sauternes.
Awesome.
Well, it's from Sauternes, the region in France.
Part of Bordeaux.
Part of Bordeaux, yeah. It's their sweet wine. So
Dessert wine. And how they ended up making dessert wine is because they couldn't make normal wine. They're like, oh, all our grapes get rotten. Well, let's press them anyway. So Sauternes is a region in Bordeaux that gets horrible weather for growing red grapes, for growing standard grapes, because they all get rotten. They all get this mold called botrytis, shrivels the grapes up, rots them out. It looks horrible. Go check it out on Wikipedia, botrytis. I'll probably even link up a link to Wikipedia if I'm ambitious enough.
Okay.
But in the case of Semillon,
and Sauvignon Blanc, right?
Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay.
It's a good thing. It concentrates the flavors, it drains the water out of the grapes, and you get this incredibly concentrated, delicious dessert wine.
Yeah.
They can't grow Cabernet Sauvignon then.
Leaves all the sugar and all of the acidity in the grape. Drains all the water out. Most of the water out. And
So long ago, this became
they're
their
pressing
expertise.
grapes, or they're pressing essentially raisins.
Yeah, and getting just a tiny bit of juice out of each one. So this is special juice. This is really great stuff. We're both huge fans of it. And
It's the most expensive wine to produce in the world.
And it's delicious. And we've got some pretty reasonably priced options here. So we're going to start out wine number one, Chateau.
We were going over this the whole time.
Roumieu Lacoste. And
I'll go Roumieu Lacoste.
All right. Well, you'll see the picture when we post it up there, and you can figure out for yourself. Well, our French pronunciation is a little weak. Both of these wines are around the $20 price point, depending on where you buy them. I'm going to give us a decent pour. It's pretty good stuff. We had the 05. We weren't feeling it at all, but I tasted this recently, and I liked it, and wanted to do a couple of these for the show.
When it comes to French pronunciations, I always try to, like, if there's any sort of sharp syllable on the end, I cut that off. So, like, the American pronunciation of Sauternes would be Sauternes, where you just chop the S. Same thing with Suduiraut. You just chop the T.
Yeah, take a look at the pictures.
Yep.
It's a little tricky, but hopefully you'll remember them.
Yep.
Get like a big pie here, like apricots baked into a pie.
Well, man, so many like tropical, delicious flavors too, like pineapple and a little bit of mango, and like that's the thing that's so fun about these wines. So vibrant and fresh, but yet there's like nice spiciness and nice weight to the feel of them. Really.
It's super rich, not like soda pop sweet either. Just like.
And it was really fun. So the one thing when I traded Anthony that bottle of wine, I told him that the main flavor profile of that wine was creme brulee, and he'd never had creme brulee. He was like, I don't know what creme brulee is. So he went out with a girl, had a fancy dinner, chose the creme brulee based on me telling him what the wine was, and he had the wine already and said, spot on, large amount of creme brulee flavor in the wine. So, or at least he was,
Yeah, it's a common thing to see. I mean, just rich, decadent, awesome dessert wines. A lot of times it's sold in just these half bottles, or that's what's available at your local shop. It's because you don't need a whole bottle, right? You can split this between 6 people, no problem.
Much better than the 05.
Mm-hmm.
The 05 was horrible. It's like we call it the crappy Sauternes.
Yeah.
We just call it the crappy Sauternes.
I'm getting great nectarine on the palate on this. It's clean. Yeah. Fairly long lasting. I mean, we're running, I guess what? Heading towards 10 seconds now, and the nectarine is still lingering towards the back of the palate.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well integrated.
Not orange nectarine, totally. Yeah. And it hangs on for a while.
Not overly complicated. I mean, just some nice nectarine flavors.
No, and not dried. Like a lot of Sauternes comes off with like really dried, concentrated flavors. This is not that way. It's actually pretty fresh. So it's nice.
Sauternes is designed in a lot of ways to age for a really long time. I have a hard time analyzing that. As these are people talk about aging them for like 20 years, and obviously I haven't been into wine for long enough to really embrace that and experience where that can go. But the acidity is still in a good context. Oh, Chaz is going to throw down. Okay.
79. Bitch.
Here's a photo of that for you guys.
Yeah.
Chaz drank this on his birthday last year.
Thank you, David. Anyway.
And, so how does Sauternes do with a little bit of age on it?
It was crazy. It turns a copper color, but it gets a lot more like cinnamon, nutmeg. I mean, it turns spicy almost.
Wow. Does the fruit fade?
Not so much. It actually it turns more dried, or it turns a little bit more concentrated, I should say. Just the freshness goes away. It definitely feels old, and it develops a lot of spicy characters. It's really it's interesting stuff. It's amazing, actually. So
cool.
Yeah.
This is solid.
Mm-hmm.
Again, very simple and straightforward, but well put together. And at the $20-ish price point,
and balanced, right? Nice acidity
right.
throughout the whole thing. No odd transitions through any of the mid palate to finish, whatever. Very delicious. I like how fresh it is, too.
It's imported by Kermit Lynch, which means it's distributed pretty well around the world, even, and definitely throughout the United States. So there's a good chance you'll be able to pick this up no matter where you're watching. And I'd say at this price point, totally check it out. I'm going to give it 88 plus points. And yeah.
89 points, totally.
All right. With good nectarine flavors, well integrated. If you've never had Sauternes before, make a point of going to check one out over this holiday season. Now's a good time to celebrate. Have a nice wine over dessert, something a little sweet to enjoy yourselves with.
And so far, this is a great one to go with. I mean, yeah. Any sort of pie, a little bit of pudding or something, even creme brulee. Perfect with that.
Or even by itself. Seriously, you wake up on the morning after Christmas and you're like, yeah, I'd like a little candy for lunch.
That's one thing is, if I go out to dinner, sometimes I'll skip dessert and just get a really nice pour of dessert wine.
Liquid dessert.
Yep. Right.
A lot of nice restaurants will see that opportunity and go for it.
A little rinse.
Rinse it up. Yeah, I don't have any problem rinsing with this stuff.